Eyewitness News investigates. Do you know if a registered sex offender is living next door? When the answer turned out to be yes, it was a shock for neighbors in one of the best-known communities here in the Valley. It's a neighborhood known for stately homes and a holiday tradition. I took a deep dive to see what was going on, to see how convicted sex offenders could live in a neighborhood close to an elementary school and a church. Fresno's Christmas Tree Lane draws more than 100,000 visitors every year. Just 2 blocks away from the trees filled with colored lights are 2 homes where multiple registered sex offenders live. The homes sit next to each other at Gettysburg and Palm in the old Fig Garden neighborhood. One of the homes was the scene of a shooting on a Saturday night in August. Investigators say a woman broke into the home, opened fire, injuring one of the registered sex offenders who lives there.
The person did go to the hospital, but we believe they're going to be okay.
Investigators say the woman charged in the shooting was targeting a man she believes abused her family member. It was a reminder to neighbors that there were convicted sex offenders living nearby, and it led to a discussion on the social media platform Nextdoor.
There's quite an uproar on Nextdoor. There's an uproar in the neighborhood. People are talking about it. They're very concerned. And so here we are.
Beverly Rain lives about a block away from the 2 homes that are run by the Centers for Living, owned and operated by John Coyle. The organization's website says they provide a safe, sober, and empowering housing environment for people who are displaced. But Beverly and other neighbors say the homes have made the area unsafe, and the Fresno Sheriff's Department has responded to many calls from inside the homes.
There have been problems from day one, and it is now years down the road. There have been incident after incident after incident, and no one told us that we have registered sex offenders there. And not just one.
She says the neighbors were under the impression that the homes are sober living facilities treating alcohol and drug addiction. But a recent check of the Megan's Law website shows multiple registered sex offenders live at the 2 homes on Gettysburg. Their crimes range from lewd and lascivious acts with a child under 14 to continuous sexual abuse of a child.
When you tell me that sexual predators are living there, it's really concerning because it's across from a church and next to a primary school. And so you have young children.
Just across Palm and Gettysburg is the Well Church, which advertises youth groups for middle school and high school students. The school is Wawona K through 8th. How can registered sex offenders live so close? Jessica's Law, passed by California voters in 2006, restricted where sex offenders could live. But that was changed in 2015 when the California Supreme Court ruled the housing requirements were too restrictive, preventing them from living anywhere. So now sex offenders can legally live in neighborhoods like this. The Fresno sheriff says his deputies are called to these 2 homes more often than any other home in the neighborhood.
When you look at my numbers right here at 41 calls year to date and over 50 calls last year, your average residential house doesn't have nearly that many calls.
41 calls as of September, 50 calls in 2024, and one of those calls in March was to arrest 34-year-old Bradford Morrison on charges of possessing child sex abuse material.
There's not a lot we can do when these homes come in and they offer this particular type of service because the law is in their favor.
Sheriff Zanoni says the 2 homes are considered transitional housing, like a halfway house for those out of prison or in recovery. And that's different than a facility that offers medical treatment for addiction.
If their drug and alcohol abuse treatment is 24/7, then they have to get a certain licensing for it. If it's not, they don't need that licensing, and then all they have to do is comply with local ordinances and zoning laws.
I spoke with the owners of the homes. They didn't want to appear on camera, but in an email exchange they wrote, "Centers for Living is not a sex offender home. We are a faith-based transitional living ministry that serves men and women emerging from homelessness, incarceration, addiction, and hardship of every kind. We love all and serve all without discrimination. We ask only for fairness and accuracy in how our work is portrayed." What's your advice to the neighbors who live near these homes?
Pay attention, call us, do your best to be vigilant, and we'll do our best to come out and handle these situations. And it can't be every day where we're serving a search warrant out there, But it's good if you call, because I think it keeps individuals, what I call, on their toes, and keeps them paying attention and lets them know, hey, the neighbors aren't just going to let you do whatever you want to do around here.
In the meantime, neighbors have changed the way they live.
And so we locked all of our gates. We put an electric gate in. We have got 8 cameras that we now have monitoring all the time. And we went from Labradors to German Shepherds and Queeners and Heelers.
Fresno County leaders are looking at issues at the 2 homes in Old Fig Garden, and they are considering changes to local laws to address the neighbors' concerns and also increase safety in neighborhoods that have these transitional housing facilities. We'll have that story for you tomorrow night right here on Eyewitness News at 7.